Hello guys, it's Thursday, which only means one thing, Manga Day, which also means review videos. Okay, loads to discuss. I'm going to try to get 3 videos done, more than likely 2. Black Clover, One Piece as a minimum I will look to do, and possibly a catch-up video for My Hero Academia, time allowing. But with that being said, this video is on Black Clover. Without further ado, let's get into this. So, to summarize the overall chapter, it was actually quite enjoyable for the simplistic nature that it was. I could really split this into 3 elements, which I'm going to do, 3 kind of key talking points, and then I'll elaborate on those. Let's kind of start with the clues of things that have yet to come. So we get a kind of explanation about this volcanic scene or volcanic scene, and we get 2 clues. The clue number 1, there's a powerful mana embedded deep underground that helps this be how it is. This could potentially hint to 2 things. It could be a crystal. As we know, we are after them as Black Bull members and people of the Clover Kingdom. And this can be some type of amplification or something that's been used to kind of generate this happening. This also could potentially be something along the lines of an elemental being, like a sylph or a salamander, that type of thing. I hinted this or talked about this last time around in regards to an earth elemental. It just kind of sat nicely with me that I thought that would be the case. The second thing that was mentioned was the fact that when you get to the top, it's a powerful nourishment, and that leads me to believe there'll be something interesting around that. I can't say what it is. I haven't really had any ideas around that, but I found that was quite interesting. The reaction was priceless, though, that they didn't even find it interesting, they didn't find it entertaining, they were like dreading the idea. So that is point number 1. Point number 2 is the captain's kind of kicking action. They're moving forward and leading by example. This was good because it helped them explain a basic fundamental skill called mana skin. Now this is important because if you think about all these moves that they've got, they're all very I guess ultimately skewed to different person's abilities. So like elemental ability or magic kind of orientation. What this is, though, this is a fundamental skill that you can add to your repertoire that makes you a more formidable opponent, a skill that you can use in everyday life, and it's just amplified by your mana. So the fact that they've introduced that was actually really good. So if you think about Hunter x Hunter, for example, you've got ideas of Ten and Ren and Hatsu and Zetsu, and these are all 4 fundamental principles in the idea of Nen in the Hunter x Hunter world. Yes, I've been watching it recently. I'm a fan. I know. Yes, it's on break. I know. And yes, it could be better. It could come back. But that doesn't matter. Anyway, the idea that they're introducing fundamental skills that anybody could use with magic, I really like. How Asta's going to use something like that, I don't know. But the fact that they've introduced that gives another level to the world building. So I'm assuming there are going to be other skills like this that will potentially be added to each individual's repertoire, and so it's a good really learning experience. Now the last point I found really interesting was the method to the madness of Sicilian or Melolio, her. Basically there's a few things she's done, and I think if you take away the craziness of her, she's ultimately a lot like Fuego. She goes about it in her own way. So if you think about it, the whole idea behind Rosalie being there, the fact that the captains were there, and allows the younger folk to have, like even Yami mentions, the fact that they can model themselves around these captains and the way they work. Hence mana skin. Because they experience, they can pick up and learn from them. The fact that Rosalie being elementally disadvantaged and still kicking ass is a motivator for those that have the elemental advantage, such as the Crimson Lion. To top all that, being around a genius like Yuno and him doing really well is a motivator for people like Asta, like Leo. So people of the same ilk, the same generation can only be more motivated, and it seems to work with Leo. And it goes to by that saying of so iron sharpens iron. So people of similar scale or similar kind of potential essentially improve each other. So there was that, and then the element of motivation. In her own way, she motivates Noella with the idea of living up to the expectations of her mother. Asta kind of achieving the impossible, for being a person that shouldn't be able to be there, a person without magic, wanting to be the Sorcerer Emperor. So really keying into what motivates and what kind of pushes these people, and she's literally doing that. And like I said, motivating Leo, motivating the young Crimson Lions. I really like that, because Leo wants to prove the Crimson Lions are going to be back on top. He wants to cut in the family name, avenge Fuego. So all these little things are brilliant, are ultimately brilliant. Now, not a lot happens. It's just the beginning of the training arc. But as you know, with Black Clover, things get really messy really quickly. Not 100 miles per hour, very quickly. I'm looking forward to it. With that being said, that is my thoughts on the chapter. If I've missed anything out, by all means, let me know in the comment section below, or on Reddit, where I will post my link. And let's get the conversation started. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I will see you in the next video. Peace.